Hello and welcome to Let's Invest Right. With me is Essen and I am Farooq. Hello, Essen.
Hi, Farooq. How are you, Farooq?
I'm very good. Essen, today we are here to discuss about some of the opportunities which we would recommend and which we are going to follow in upcoming weeks and for the rest of this year. We are here to discuss about some of the industries which were deeply affected with this pandemic, and where the stock prices, especially for those particular industry related stocks, were heavily affected, and they have really seen a downward trend. I'm talking about today, we'll be discussing about airline industry, of course, overall transportation, travel and tourism. Those were the main affectees of this pandemic. And we have seen a great level of downward trend in all these stocks. First of all, tell us something about, the relation of this pandemic with airline stocks.
Farooq, to analyze and understand the opportunities that we have, it is important to see two things. First, how things were before the pandemic and what has changed after the pandemic. See, before the pandemic, these airlines, the travel was like a normal, and people were going through airlines and like they were flying. Even the stocks of these companies were flying. However, with COVID-19 impacting many of us across the globe, it was not only, it started from China and then spread across the globe. It impacted, travel was one of the main industries that was impacted and significantly impacted. Because people were like having a fear, they were not going out, and even they were not going out locally, leave about the international travels. So the airline stocks were one of the main that was impacted, and they went down drastically. Some of the airlines were as low as like 70 to 80% after the pandemic. But now, as the people are like becoming used to it, with the social distancing, with the norms, with the SOPs, following like keeping themselves sanitized, and all these measures that they are taking, not only the airline industries, the airports, many other, like all those that are linked, have changed how things are working. So this is, along with the obviously the success of the vaccine that's been out now, the like success, we are seeing the Pfizer is like 85%, 85%, what do we say, positive
Ratio
in terms of the results.
Yes, but there is one more thing which I would like to discuss. Of course, after the pandemic and unfortunate event that took place, the death ratio were exponentially growing all across the world. So were the travel restrictions, which we have seen being imposed by different governments, in order to control this disease spreading. And we have seen, from US to Europe, and then of course China itself, all across the globe, we have seen the travel restrictions which took place. Then we have seen lockdowns. Then we have seen, of course, travel is not the first and most important, you can say, necessity. Yes, there were restrictions in terms of cargo, which was really important as a part of global initiatives which were taken care, food and supplies and all the necessities which were being used. And these airlines, some of them have really done a great job, where they have dedicated their planes for these kind of cargo. And we have seen even commercial flights which were operating as cargo flights. I have seen like Lufthansa itself, they have done a great job in that. And most of the planes were like converted in order to control their costs, of course, and also to be the part of this pandemic in order to help the communities.
See, there's a way. When you are facing difficulties, you have to find a way, right? And this is one of the innovative solutions that these airlines have found. And as I was talking, like with the vaccine being out, like we are after the vaccine news, like the vaccine is out, and now it's the success ratio, it's positive. So all these is impacting positively on the stock price. However, the airline industry is one which has still not reached the pre-pandemic level. And that is why we see great opportunity still if you have missed the investing in March, April last year, still you have like ample time, still time to invest in these airlines. So some of the airlines that we'll discuss today would be United Airlines, Southwest Airlines, Delta Air, and American Airlines. These are the top 4 companies in the airline industry in the United States, and we'll be discussing one of these, all of these, and analyzing and discussing which have the most potential.
That's great. So, guys, let's discuss very shortly the technical graphs, and where we would be discussing their pre-pandemic price from there, where we have seen the immediate fall of the prices of these companies, and then we would also be following the retracement YTD, and then we would also see still if there are some room left to take advantage, because right now, fortunately, I would say, with the vaccine in place and the distribution of vaccine and the success rate what Hassan has discussed right now, we have seen the investors' confidence coming back to travel and tourism industry. And let's discuss and let's find out what kind of opportunities are still waiting for us to catch. So let's see. On our screen is American Airline, the first one. If we could see, if you could start discussing with us right from where it all started happening, the immediate fall, which was around, you can say, on 11th of Feb 2020, almost a year ago, where it was trading at around, we can say, $29 or $30 per share, right?
Yes, Farooq. So it was around $30 per share. And after that, the price has gone significantly down. Now, if you look at the last year, March, in the month of March, the price was as low as 9.4. So you could see
9.5, correct.
Yes, significant drop in the price. And currently, the price is trading at 18.68. So if you look at the history, it has still not reached the pre-pandemic level. And there's still opportunity. If you calculate the growth rate, right, the company still has still opportunities of around 30% to 40% if it reached the pre-pandemic price of $30.
But the investors who have taken the risk when it was as low as 9.5 or 9, as of now, they were able to double their money. They have taken 100% profit on this stock. However, if we are comparing it with the pre-pandemic rate, still, as you have mentioned, we have got around 30% retracement yet to be achieved. And here I would like to discuss a bit about the overall scenario of this company. If we zoom out and see it on year-on-year basis, we have seen there is a downward trend of this airline. It was not doing so well, even pre-pandemic. Over the period of year, the price has been declining. However, as we are saying that since now we are about to chase back the pre-pandemic price, there is a significant opportunity for our investors, for us, if we invest right now, to reach back and achieve 30% return. However, I would not recommend, even we will not be keeping this stock for a very long period, because the overall there is a downward trend which we have seen over the period of previous years.
Yes, Farooq, you're right. If you look at the price historically, the price has been fluctuating, but overall the trend has been slightly going down. And the main reason for this is that the company has a lot of debt in its balance sheet. So that's one of the reasons why. And it's riskier among the 4 airlines that we'll be discussing. It was one of the most risky stocks that will, but still, if you invest in the stock, it still has a potential of giving you around 40 to 50% return.
So, SN, before we jump to our next company, for our investors or for us, if to enter from the coming week, keeping in mind that the things are coming back to normal in upcoming months, this is if we suppose 18.68 is the entry point, what would be that point where we should exit from this stock? Would it be like if we say 30, around 30 or even 25-ish would be safe, on a safer side
Yeah.
to exit from this stock? What do you recommend?
See, yeah, I would say at 25, 26 would be a good return. You could like close your deal on that because there's a threshold, like a resistance level. It will reach that, and then it would be difficult to reach the pre-pandemic right away, right? So if you want to invest in a short term, this would be a price of around 25, 26 would be good if you take profit at that price.
And what would be the third thing which I would like to ask? First was the entry point, which would be immediate entry. The exit point, we are saying in late 20s, say 28 to 30, we can exit. And what do you think? How long it would take this stock to reach there? The
See,
tenure of the
right
investment.
now,
Yes.
right now the market is like volatile, highly volatile. It's going down for a couple of days, and this week has been like pretty tough. But Friday, the hope is coming back with the vaccines efficiency rate coming up and all this news, and with travel. So I would say in 6 months or so, 6 to 8 months max.
Within
I
six
would say
months. Within
yes,
six
6 to
months.
8 months would be a good time period for this American airline to reach a level of 26, 27.
26, 27. Perfect. So let's jump to our next stock, which is going to be United Airline, UAL. So, Asan, if we could see on our screen the same day when we have seen American Airline really losing its ground and actually landing its gear, and from $80 per share, it actually reached as low as 20, 21 or 20.
Yes, Farooq. American Airline is one of the like most important airline or the in
which
the
we have
industry.
discussed, which we have discussed.
Yes, exactly. In a couple of videos earlier, we have also highlighted like UL is a good opportunity, and it's one of the key airlines. So again, we'll say it's a good opportunity for us still to invest. The share price right now is trading at $48. So 48, although like we invested earlier when it was like around 10 or 12, I believe, right? So still there's good opportunity. If we could say, if you're talking about the price could reach around $80 or even beyond 80. If you look at last year, 2019 ending or 2020 early January, the price was as high as around 84, 85, $89. So still there's a growth opportunity here in the airlines.
And right now it's trading around less than 50. However, in previous month, it also touched its resistance level of 50, and then again we have seen some retracement. Uh, so if it reaches back to 80, still we have around roughly 80 to 90% of
30%.
return.
Exactly. We will have it. And one of the main reasons for United Airlines is its large operations. The company is operating, and even it has massive networks across in different countries, even in Asia. So it's flying across the globe with different continents. So that's why it's catering different markets and different places where other airlines are not like operating. So that's one of the opportunities that UL will have it.
And SN, if comparing like what we have discussed in our previous airline, American Airline, but comparing United Airline over the period of year, it has an upward trend, which is a positive sign to invest. Like not only reaching to pre-pandemic level, we could have 80 to 90% of return. Also, if we keep it for a longer period, it has given in the previous years an upward trend, and if it follows again due to its operations and comparably less depth than American Airline
Yes, sir.
and more innovative technologies what they're using, and they're talking about in news what we can see the measures they have taken in this pandemic. So it is a good opportunity.
Exactly. This is a good stock to have even in our portfolio. Even during the times when the airlines were down, we were not like we were taking a risk, but calculated risk, and calculated risk by investing in UL. Like if you look at different airlines, there are many airlines in across US and in even in Europe. They were so down, but UL was one of them. Like we were pretty sure that this would bounce back.
And SN, we have seen, because it is part of our portfolio since beginning, I would say. I have seen one thing in UL, that it has been really very strong. It has not been such volatile as compared to Save or American Airline, which are very volatile. Which could really disturb your portfolio. Whenever it finds its support and resistance, it keeps on following, and it's not that volatile. So even the risk level of UAL is much better than other airlines.
See, one of the things that you look when you're investing in a line, you look at the operations. You look at different things like revenue per seat, revenue per. So, and is it a low cost airline or a normal airline? So, when if it's a low cost airline, it will obviously compete with others on the basis of cost. That's right. So, as a traditional airline, you'll still have the opportunity to get the premium from the customers. And UL is a big name. That's why, and catering to some of the markets where other airlines are not operating. So that's one of the advantages that will have it.
That's
And
correct.
it would be much less risky to still invest in UL and get the returns from that.
That's correct. So again, I would ask the same question: the entry point, uh, the exit point, and the tenure of the investment in UAL.
See, if you look at only in this month, like the ending of January or starting of February, the price was around 39. So in this month only, the price has jumped for around $9 to $10. So that's a good return even. The right now price is around 48. But even if you get the share of around 45 and you close at 75, 70, that would be, I think, the closing price of TP. So I'd say like 48 because it's bounced back slightly in the last couple of weeks. So if you get the share of around 45 and with a take profit of 75, you'll have good returns on this. Again, within 8 months, I would say the price could reach 70.
Which gives us around 80 to 90%.
55%. 55% of
55%,
return.
which is not bad, because already it has retraced from its lowest level, and it has reached to 48 and now reaching around 50. So it would be a good opportunity.
See, that's why it's one of the, as I'm saying, it's one of the safest, like in the airlines. That's why it was early, one of the early stocks to come back to their prices, pre-pandemic prices.
That's correct. That's correct. So guys, this was all about UL. A brief discussion on UL. Now, the third company which we are here to discuss is Southwest Airline. So, SN, the same way what we have been discussing about previous airlines. So it was
Yes,
trading.
Farooq.
It was trading around at
$58
yeah, it was trading around at $58, and then
pre-pandemic.
yeah, pre-pandemic around 58 or 60. Yeah, 58 we can say. 58 was its resistance, and from there it went as low as 23 or 22, right?
Yes, but the airline, interestingly, this airline went down in May, not in the month of March. So that's one of the factors. We had it in our portfolio in the month of March, if you remember, when the airlines went down. But it still went down further in the month of May
But the
when the
first
market.
the first jerk which was seen in airline was around 11th or 10th of Feb 2020, and you are
Exactly.
correct.
Yeah.
In the month of March, the second the price was further was seen going in a downward direction. So SN right now it is trading at $52 as compared to pre-pandemic 58. Almost it has reached its pre-pandemic. I won't say completely, but it has almost reached its pre-pandemic. Would it be a good option to invest in this, because the tenure would not be as like it is going to be a quick return, I think, if we invest right now.
Yeah. So there are a couple of points. Again, you look at the risk and return. How much risk you want to take? This is the most safe airlines. Like if I'm supposed to like rank, this would be the one, and the UL would be the second one. Okay, so this is the first one. If you look at the balance sheet of the company, this is like has very much less depth in compared to other airlines industry. If you look at it, and it
Interesting.
could survive even with less operations, with less flights. This is one of the airlines that could survive even for longer than the other airlines. That's why Again, this is why you almost reaching the pre-pandemic level so quickly. And now opportunity in terms of return, if you want to take less risk and still like have avail opportunities from the airlines, Southwest would be the one.
That's great. So again, the entry would be as quick as possible, which is 52.
Yes, even if you say like the price, if you enter around 52 and end up around 60, you'll have around 16% return on the investments.
And which would be within a month or two. So you don't have to wait long.
Maybe depends. Maybe in 3 months, I would say. But then this would be the least risky. So you look at the risk and return. Obviously, if you're taking a higher risk, you want a higher return. That's why if you're trying to minimize your risk in the airline industry, Southwest Airlines is the one, and then you'll have the less returns.
That's correct. Asan, so now if we talk about the Delta airline, and if you could let us know in the same way what we have discussed for the previous airlines.
Yes, Farooq. So Delta Airline still has significant opportunities if you invest. The price was around $59 to $60 before the pre-pandemic. Right now, it's being traded at 45. So there is still opportunity of around, I would say, 25 to 30% if the price reaches the pre-pandemic level. The price went down as low as around $21 in the month of March, and then around $19 in the month of May, when the second crash or the double impact in the airline came up. So had
Right
you
now it's
invested,
trading at around 45.
correct. So had you invested at that time when the price was $19, you would be like eyeing tripling your investment, right, in a year or so.
So it was
So
into 3 years stock. But right now, how much potential is left? If because right now we are not seeing a very long
see,
term, but the pre-pandemic
correct.
level if we are chasing.
Exactly. So right now, even if you enter at the price of 45, which is current price, you could end up around 58 to 60 somewhere, and you'll have a return of 25%. Again, into 6 to 8 months, you should have it
Which
if
is
things
of
goes
course
well.
not a bad return.
Yes, obviously. See, S&P 500 average index is around 10% of a normal year, like in a normal year. So this is great opportunity again.
And over the period of year, it has been stable. It's not a downward trend we have seen. Neither it's a very upward trend. It has been stable, like UAL and the other one which we have discussed. Not like American Airline, which I would say American Airline would be the riskiest one among all these four. What we have discussed right now.
Yes, exactly. And that is why you'll see the maximum return in investing in American Airline rather than
Yeah,
other.
that's true, because it's the same way. Higher the risk, higher is the return. So if we want to make
Yes,
more money, this is the stock right now. But again, it's good always to diversify. So we would recommend people who would like to right now enter into airline industry to have a diversified portfolio, SN, not investing everything in American Airline or UAL or Southwest, but dividing your portfolio among all these four best airlines, what we have selected. What do you say?
exactly. It's important for everyone to identify how much risk they are willing to take, right? And then based on that, they can invest. If they are investing in all four of them, like 25% in each of them is not the right way, right? So if you are ready to take more risk, invest in American Airlines. If you're taking ready to take less risk, invest in Southwest Airlines.
And
Depends
again,
on
with
how much.
risk is also how much return you are expecting to
Exactly,
have.
exactly.
That would decide
These
your
are
risk
like
level.
correct. Obviously.
That's correct.
And with vaccine out and the supply chain issues being trying, like companies across the globe are trying to solve and the supply chain issues of the vaccine. So nearly like I would say end of this year, the travel would become the normal, not the pre-pandemic
Hopefully.
level still, but the prices would still reach those pre-pandemic levels.
That's correct. Asan, thank you very much for joining us and discussing again a few of the best opportunities still with us, with less risk as compared if we would have invested in these stocks in airline a couple of months ago. It was more riskier. However, there were of course more opportunities. However, right now, if we would say, it's also a good opportunity to enter and take advantage of the return which still exists in these great companies. Thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and press the bell icon.